Okay, so this video actually, I found this in my feed, and then apparently this is a game. Okay, apparently this is the game.
It's hard to believe, but what you're seeing right now is not real life footage from a camera. It's
It looks
actually
so
gameplay
real
from
though.
an
God
Unreal
damn.
Engine 5 video game called Unrecord that's currently in development from a new independent studio.
Okay.
This video has taken the gaming internet by storm in the last few days. Many people blown away by the visual fidelity.
Damn.
And others claiming that it's all fake or pre-rendered. So today I'm going to dive in and take a look at this, tell you a bit about the game and get to the bottom of it all. So the buzz for this actually started back in October 2022. Alexandre Spidler, who is creative director and lead programmer on this new project, released a video on Twitter saying simply, "I'm working on a body cam style game," with a few hashtags thrown in for good measure. And in that 45-second video, we see what looks like body cam footage of a person holding a gun, moving through a dilapidated environment and taking down a few baddies along the way.
Dude,
the quality of the clip is awful, as it's on Twitter and only in 720p resolution. But I think that actually helps it in a way, and it would be easy at a glance to mistake this for real life footage. The environment was a shared Unreal Engine asset, but the camera style mixed with the animations made this look incredibly believable. So it sparked up some discussion, and then there was radio silence for months until we skipped to April 19th, 2023, a couple days ago. And Alexandre released a new video. This time it was on YouTube in 1440p 60 FPS quality, alongside a press release packed full of information and announcing
imagine
the name of the
just imagine like these kind of game, like Unreal Engine 5 is so real, like you wouldn't know, you wouldn't see the difference anymore in real life. And then what's the worst part is that only people who have like really good PCs or GPUs can actually play this game. Like I know for a fact that, you know, it's like, oh, it's like high fidelity, it's like one of the best games so far, it's very realistic. But then again, but can your PC run it though? Or that's the thing. Maybe I feel like maybe PS5 can't run this. Maybe we have to wait for PS6 to run Unreal 6 engine game, Unreal Engine 5 games. But like in the same sense, like these things are gonna probably be super expensive though. And aside from that, so does this mean they can also have like very realistic dating simulator games? Maybe
the game as
finally not gonna be single
and as
anymore.
you can see, this has to be one of the most realistic looking games ever.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it for me. And I think there's a few reasons for that. The main reason is that this isn't simulating what seeing through humans' eyes would look like. In fact, it's simulating what body camera footage looks like. The barrel distortion in the corners as if it were a lens, the wide field of view, the chromatic aberration, the shakiness, even the position of the gun in the hands. It's very unconventional for a first-person shooter, of course, but you pair that up with the excellent animation of the hands.
Oh my god, imagine all the horror games.
Something very convincing.
Damn.
Unreal Engine 5 is doing a lot
of
the
they blurred the
heavy lifting here as
faces.
well, adding in accurate lighting, textures, and what appears to be ray tracing on the puddles and shiny surfaces.
I kind of get why. They blurred some of the faces. If you look at here, like they blurred. If you guys look at that, they blurred the faces because sorry, wasn't there a study where humans can easily detect what's fake or not? So like being able to blur the faces out, I think is a good call, so that it kind of adds into more towards the realism. Because if the brain cannot detect that face is fake, you know, the brain will still push the idea that this is a real game, essentially. Like, goddamn, this is reality.
You may have noticed too that the face...
Goddamn, look at how dark that environment is. Imagine if that was a jump scare. Imagine this as a horror game. Holy shit. If this was a horror game, you'd probably get real life PTSD. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, if this was like with real life graphics, dude, you will probably have real life PTSD, man.
Faces of the combatants are pixelated and blurred. This is obviously a choice that the developers have made, and it leans into the body cam narrative. But more importantly, it solves a big problem that might make the game look less realistic, because as human beings, we're all very good at noticing when a face looks weird or fake.
That's true,
and video game faces, as much as they
dude, that is so scary. Look at that. Look at that. Imagine that, dude. Imagine yourself just moving towards dark corners with just like a weak flashlight, and then suddenly like a monster or a ghost jumps from the back and suddenly just gnaws your face off. and it has the most realistic graphics ever. Now here's the thing: we're just watching. This is just the visual. Imagine if it had like the audio sound to it, like 3D audio, or like the ambient noises. Like, dude, this would literally give anyone PTSD, man. Like, just imagine like what was that game? Imagine like any other game that's basically focused on like ambient scares, like slow build up scares, dude. Like what was that? There was this game called the Morticia. The Mortician. I forgot what that game was. But essentially, if you put that, and then you put it with this graphics, it would literally give you PTSD. I'm not even kidding you, man. The future of horror games is like, it's gonna give you PTSD, man.
The realistic, especially when animated. But in this case, that is irrelevant because you can't see the faces, and that helps sell the overall image. Still, many people online were skeptical about this game and didn't believe that the video was real, rather a pre-rendered sequence, or in fact a real video that's been filtered or doctored in some way. And so to prove it, the lead developer posted a new video showing the game running in the Unreal Engine editor. He flies a free camera around the environment to begin, and then he hits play and drops into the game, controlling the character, checking the pistol with the same animations, looking around and firing it off in different directions. He then flies to another area from the latest video and does the same thing, again in a different fashion. Checks his ammo.
Your game is good. Your game is so good and so realistic when people themselves are telling you it's fake. Your name is so good that when your game is like so realistic and it's so good, when people started having misconstrued theories on why it's fake in the first place and why it's unrealistic, like Jesus Christ, man, the developer first did really well.
Goes into free cam again. So it does appear that this is in fact real, and this new video put many doubts to bed, but still a lot of questions remained. So what is Unrecord then? What is this game? Well, as I mentioned, there was a press package that went out, and I'll take you through the key details now. At the moment, you can only wishlist the game on Steam with an unannounced release date, but it is not expected to be released this year. In fact, the developers are still seeking publishers and investors to support the studio. I'm sure that they'll have a lot more interest now. The game is pitched as a tactical first-person shooter where players can expect an immersive and narrative experience featuring complex dialogues, innovative gameplay mechanics, tough moral dilemmas, and a unique shooting system. The storyline can be compared to a detective novel or a thriller, where the player will have to investigate several criminal cases and confront a diverse cast of characters. The game's plot and presentation will be central to the gameplay experience, and players can anticipate a range of gameplay sequences as well as numerous plot twists. In terms of the moment-to-moment gameplay, Unrecord features an original aiming system, and they claim this as a free aiming system with authentic aim down sight and unrestricted hand movements. And having watched the footage several times, this is the biggest question mark for me, because usually in a first-person shooter game, the weapon and hands are in the bottom right, and when you press a button to aim, everything moves to the center of the screen nice and steady, so you can use the sight of the weapon to effectively aim at what's in the middle of your screen. But Unrecord is doing things a bit differently with the shaky movement and animation, so it seems it would be quite difficult to aim precisely at something. However, I am super interested to get hands-on with this and get a feel for exactly how it works, because this is at least something different that we haven't really seen before, or I haven't.
No. That's the thing. That's majority of the critics say that this is fake. They probably spliced a real life video and photoshopped it, or maybe edited the video to make it feel like a game at the same time, but still be IRL. But no, that's the thing, Yuki. It's not. This is an actual game. The entirety of this is an actual game. Now imagine that in like horror settings, man, with all the lightings and stuff. Like, I swear to God, man. I swear to God, like even right now playing Phasmophobia or Demonologist or whatever scary game that is now, I couldn't even play those games. I'm a coward. But imagine this kind of game. Imagine Resident Evil 9, for example. Imagine Resident Evil 9 with these kind of graphics, or the Mortuary Assistant with these kind of graphics. Or imagine, let's say, Friday Nights at Freddy's with these kind of graphics. Like, Jesus Christ, man. This will really give you some PTSD. I swear to God, dude.
Perhaps there will be an element of aim assist or a generous hit zone if you're roughly in the correct position with your gun when aiming at a target. So I would love to hear more about how that's going to function.
The zombie games will never be the same. I know, right?
And retry combat with a technical and minimalist approach. No room for errors. It's up to you to develop your own tactics. I assume there's going to be gear that you can use too, like flashbangs and grenades. You'll also be making dialogue choices that impact your experience even during combat. We see this a couple times in the video, multiple choices at one point, so perhaps what you choose there
Phasma isn't scary at all unless Phasma... Oh, definitely, man, definitely.
Even offer multiple choices and potentially side objectives or ways to complete a mission. The devs have responded to a few interesting frequently asked questions too. One of them related to motion sickness for people who are prone to that but might want to play this game. They said that they're working on implementing options and settings to adjust camera movement, effects and accessibility options to make the game more comfortable to play for all. Naturally, console gamers have been keen to know if this game will be released on Xbox or PlayStation. Their reply was that currently the game runs smoothly with both keyboard and controller. We don't see any issues porting to consoles. However, we haven't yet decided on the specific platforms and consoles for release, but we will keep you updated during development. Unfortunately, it is not a VR game, so I guess that there were a lot of people who, when they saw this for the first time, went, oh, I'd love to try that on my Oculus or my PlayStation.
I'm so
VR
scared
2.
for the future of video games, man. I'm so scared for the future of for video games. Imagine back in the days when you play a video game, you just decide to, you know, pew pew some stuff, relieve some stress, and just have a good time. Nowadays, games are becoming so realistic; it's so hard to discern from reality. You know, maybe you play a game with Unreal Engine 5 or some games like these with these graphics, and then you get scared shitless, you know? And then what if that chases you after the game because your mind cannot differentiate reality from the game itself anymore? What if the ghosts in game or the monsters in game start hunting you in real life too and in your dreams too? Like, dude, the future of gaming is so scary, but at the same time, I'm very opportunistic because if there is a game that I can hold a girl's hand with these kind of graphics, I'd be happy. I'd take the risk, man. I'd take the plunge. Hey, real life dating, here I come, boys. But it's real life in a game. Anyway, good video. Let's move into the next one.